Welcome to the Hamzy Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Paulo Navarro. Today is Tuesday, July 17, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange Advanced Decline Differential closed at 970. Nasdaq Advanced Decline Differential closed at 258. There were 45 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and 11 new 52-week lows. For the volatility, the total contracts traded on the VIX today was 602,000. The total premiums was 70 million. The dollar-weighted put-call ratio in July, we saw 8.9 reading with 16% of the total premiums paid. But I must say that these futures are going to go off the board tomorrow at the open. The August dollar-weighted put-call ratio, we saw a 0.7 with 54% of the total premiums paid. And in September, a 0.26 with 14% of the total premiums paid. Okay, here we have the daily chart for SPX. We were up 10 handles or 0.7%. We have an outside day on ES. Notice here we bounced off 0 sigma line today and we were off the lows, finishing at the highs for SPX. Pretty good above the trend line that we have drawn here. And 0 sig was resistance on the bottom of the lows here on the day. We're now looking at 1380. Again, we want to break these highs here and go to 1380. That will be the target on the upside. We're still looking for this trend line on the downside, but as you can see here, we have broken several times, and looks like 0 sigma will be our resistance at 1346.85. On CI, we're on positive territory, starting to head up. You can see here, we're starting to head up here. Still, we need a long way to go, but here you can see how the trend has been shifting upwards. We're gonna look at SPY to get some targets. Here we have the daily chart for SPY. Very nice candle. Again, as I mentioned, we're looking at the 138 level. That's gonna be our next target from here. That's gonna be critical. Get there and break those levels. We also wanted to continue to form higher highs. You can see here. So our next one would be around 39, maybe. We're still looking for 38, and then we'll look for the next high here. On the downside, the upside would stop below 134.66, which is the 0 sig line, and also breaking the 133 level, which was here, this low here we made. CI on the SPY is continuing here to go higher, which is positive, and CI is now pointing upwards. We want this SCW to start increase when we are going upwards, which means the sigma channels will start expanding while we go up. On the intraday chart for SPY, we're gonna look at the 30-minute chart. Very interesting action here. We've made a couple of lows. It looks like we're going to have a big sell-off while Bernanke was speaking, and then after that, in the middle of his speech, we just bounced back, making highs throughout the day and finishing almost at the highs of the day, which was pretty good for the market overall. This bounce was pretty impressive here. We were down almost 7-8 handles, and then we just break up to the upside, which was very good. Also here on the daily chart, you can see we broke the 100-day moving average for the SPY right now. We're above it, so we want to continue acting to see if maybe holds us some resistance. The last couple of days we had failed to break this 100-day moving average, the white line here, and now we have break it. We now want to see a higher high and continue our ascent higher from here. On GLD, here we have the chart for GLD. We're gonna start with the daily chart. We have basically a down day, 0.5%, not much happening. Still having some trouble above 0 sigma on the daily chart. We want to see some closes above 0 sig, but looks like the only one we have is here, and these ones that are basically at 0 sigma. So again, we try to go higher and we fail. CI now green, pointing higher, but CI deep on negative territory. Again, looks like some consolidation still between the 156 range to 150. We want to see which side gold's gonna break. Not much movement after Bernanke spoke today. He's going to speak tomorrow again, so we'll see what happens. On the weekly chart for GLD, you could see here very tight range here on the weekly chart. Again, we're below the 0 line, sigma channel width compressing. So it looks like we want to break some to reach either side, maybe break those 149s, go lower, or break above the 156 and try to go higher. On the weekly chart, we want to break the 0 sigma line, which is 157.54. That's going to be critical for the upside. We have not crossed that level since almost 18 to 20 weeks so far. Now, last chart, looking at the VIX. We're going to start with a daily chart. Here you can see we have an outside reversal on the VIX, finishing almost at the lows of the day at negative 3.6%. Here you could see that there was a long time we haven't made these 16 levels, making a couple of new lows here on the VIX. Again, we mentioned that we were having some trouble crossing the 0 sigma and that we were having some lower highs here. We pointed out this, a couple of lower highs. Looks like we are going to continue to have lower highs here. But as you know, VIX turns pretty fast, so it's hard to see too much into the future of the VIX. Also today was VIX expiration. Tomorrow's going to go up the front month on the futures after the first traded, so we're going to have to see what happens there. Couple of more interesting things just to see here really fast. If we watch at the WIWN, this is the Russell ETF. You could see here we have an outside day also to the upside, pretty positive here on the risk off trade. You could see we're above 0 sigma, also hold today, and now we're looking for going above the 72.5. Above that, we're gonna see higher highs, maybe go and test the highs of the year. But just wanted to point out that we saw a outside day almost on every asset here on volatility, on SPX, and on the risk on risk off trade, which is the Russell. That's it for the charts today. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your Hamsi Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.